All right.
Woohoo!
We are live. I have papers. We got a mic check going. We are,
Mic
yay.
check.
Just,
Check.
just,
Check.
just,
Check.
yeah, do the Darth Vader thing. Do it. You got it. Luke, I
Luke.
am your father. Nice. All right, people. I am Dr. Sharnael Wolverton-Sehon. Super excited to be with Jason Q in the house. Happy. And I have some papers that I sent him. I think he has a copy too. And then he sent me a little bit of something that might be 171,000 pages. But I love the collaboration, multiplication, and I'm all about data. I'm all about learning stuff.
Information. The truth.
So, yeah. Hey, before, like, while you're on right now, can you tweet? Is there a way to forward this or share it so people can see it on your stuff? Can you guys do that too? I actually have like a house full of people ish that came live. So we got live out here, and then I have live like people who are watching me watch and interview. So this is fun. Oh, let's see what Jason has to do. Yeah, I know, right? 10 Days of Darkness. Speaking of, so I'm Dr. Sharnael Wolverton-Sehon. Let's get started here, right?
And I'm not.
And this is none other than Jason Q. And we are here tonight to talk about like the 10 days, but also a lot of other stuff. We have an action-packed night of an hour here to get going. Yeah, did you know, for those of you...
wow. I didn't notice that people can actually put stuff like at the bottom now.
See, I know. I just saw that. I'm like, what happened? How did that happen? Wow. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, 10 Days of Darkness,
DOJ can't do anything.
DOJ goes from 11/3 to 11/13, which is tomorrow, which is Friday the 13th.
Oh my God!
Just to let you know, and it is the 713th anniversary of the of Jacques de Molay when they burned him at the stake outside of the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Okay.
Year wise.
Okay.
It was actually October 13th of 1307 is when they did that.
Well, and so, people are like, why isn't anything happening? And if the DOJ can't do anything for 10 days.
The thing is that like tonight there's so much air traffic over my house. It's insane. Like, we're talking like massive air traffic.
Really?
Yes. Massive.
Wow. Well,
once again, there's no moon either.
So. Because he is, well, I'm not going to say where he is. And I'm not going to say where I am because I'm not where I normally am.
I'm in Northwest Indiana. I don't care. I'm like half hour outside Chicago. I use landlines. I don't care because everybody that would have wanted me dead, they're already dead. That's why people need to just calm that down.
I love you.
Understand that it's all done. We're watching a movie. It may not be a movie that everybody like. It's like, oh, so many twists and shit. Like, look, it's all slow going. But once it starts hitting, everybody's like, I can't believe this all happened. It's like, no shit. Duh.
I would be curious to see where our people, because we got quite a few people on. I want to know where they are. If you want to post like where you are, just so I can get a reading on that. But I'm in agreement with you. Maybe we should get burner phones. I've had some pretty crazy stuff going on in the last few days that like static and clicking on the phones and phones just going out and static, like even in the videos. I'm honestly, like, oh my God. And I know last night when we were talking, you were like, this is an open line, so let's be quiet.
Well, the thing is, because sometimes it's like, you just don't want to talk to them. You want to talk to everybody. So they all know. Because the more people that know, what are they going to do? You know, if only a couple people know, then a couple people know. It's like this right here. We found here. See this right? No. Oh no,
This?
No, that's big. That's big because when you look, see what people don't understand about that right there. What I would like you to do is open that up and go to the end of chapter 2.
Okay, Mr. Student Teacher, chapter 2. Here we are. Is there like pages on here? I see introduction. I haven't got a chance to really do this because I've only done 95 interviews in the last 2 days. But okay, chapter. I don't have a chapter. Is there chapters?
There should be like chapters up. There should be a bunch of dates. It's a yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but it's by what's his name? Dr. Alexander Jones, I believe, and it's the Los Alamos flu simulation.
Keep
And
going.
it starts on Monday, April 20th. And it starts talking about the waves and everything. Well, the thing is, Monday, April 20th was actually this year. So the dates actually correlate with everything going on.
Oh, wow.
Yes. This was planned back in 2009.
And you can Google that, guys. You can look and see I posted it several times and you can do that.
And you want to print it. You cannot, this is one of those things you just can't just read online because your eyes will start getting bugged out, and you want to at least highlight, mark up everything. Once you realize what is in this document, people are going to lose their shit. Period. That's it. I mean, this is the biggest piece. I mean, it has everybody that's complacent, how much Obama took, why we automatically went to a stage 6 pandemic, everything. I mean, they were going to take us over. The UN and the WHO were going to take us over. President Bush, which is H.W. Bush, because Bush was a retard. He didn't have anything. Everything was run by Daddy.
Exactly.
Daddy and Cheney. But the thing is that what they had in plan was, as soon as I went to a pandemic stage 6,
straight too, and from a doctor's point of view,
exactly.
I'm telling you, that is not normal. There's
and Fauci, and the thing is, Fauci was listed as one of the top 20 governmental employees of all times in the senior executive service, and won an award for it of all time. Of all time of the SES, and it was even in an email with Hillary. I know Fauci's very, very dirty. He came up with a lot of this stuff too.
It doesn't look like the guy that Biden wants to bring on is very clean.
Well, Biden's not going. I mean, Biden's already dead, so it don't even matter. I mean, his earlobes. If you look at his earlobes are connected. He's a drone. That's it. He's complete controlled.
So someone was asking about 10 Days of Darkest. The DOJ can't do a single thing with arrests until it's been 10 days after the election. So that is tomorrow the 14th. Tomorrow's the 13th. We mentioned, which Friday the 13th, 2020. Oh my God, everybody, sage yourself. Let's just say say your prayers, get out your rosaries, sage your house, get out your white Angelica.
Honestly,
make sure you're eating really well and taking a magnesium bath, because oh my God, yes.
But in all honesty, I mean, as long as you're not the one chomping on adrenochrome or anything like that, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Because they weaponized it.
You just said that. you said that out loud. Awesome.
Yeah, well, they did. They weaponized it. That's
So,
exactly what they did.
what do you think about the whole censorship thing going on? And like, ta-da! We're gonna have a big, massive media party for ourselves, and we're gonna announce that I'm a winner. By the way, did you know that I'm also a winner? I'm actually the president. Did I tell you that? I'm the president right now.
Really?
I won. I'm gonna have a big party tomorrow. You want to come?
Awesome.
That's not how it works, guys.
No. No. And especially the media saying it, it's like, I don't, and people are flipping out about it. Like, who aren't we supposed to listen to, guys? I mean, seriously. And people are like, well, I haven't seen it on the news. It's like, again, I mean, how many times do you honestly have to tell people? It's like that thing on your wall or whatever, unplug it and throw it out the damn window. I mean, seriously. It is a CIA agent. That's all it is. It's under Operation Weeping Angel. Because as long as it's not unplugged, it could video and record you at any given time. That was all under Vault 7, by the way. Yes.
And the iPads and the cell phones. And they're listening. Even if they're not watching with the camera, they can hear you.
They can eat a dick. Because they're all Jesuits, and they're all partying up in Switzerland and France and 19,500 feet underwater. That's what the CIA headquarters is.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, we're taking Q&A also.
Yeah.
I apparently can't see what's going on Facebook, but I have an amazing crew of people that can help me with questions on Facebook. I can actually see YouTube and Twitter. And by the way, hey, if any of you are out there right now in Twitterland, Facebook, or YouTube, can you please share this post right now so everyone can see this as much as possible and we can get the word out, because I would really like for all of humanity to come into the union of love and cross-pollination, which brings multiplication. If we can bring truth to all of humanity, holy cow, that would be super cool if we all just woke up and did what we're supposed to do.
Oh, would that be nice? In a perfect world. But you still have those that are asleep and just will not wake up.
What's it going to take, bro? I mean, they did a practice run with the C in March, right? And like even the doctors, including myself, came out and go, oh gosh, you know what? This is actually the real truth. Let me tell you. Of course, we're censored. That's part of the whole brainwashing
with
thing.
the C
teaching on that. I can go
the
into
C. You mean the
scary virus.
Oh, that's not the scary one. No.
It gets worse. That was
It would have.
That was a practice
That
run.
was not even close to what it was going to be.
Yeah. And you have the paperwork and the documents.
Then
and
it was
what did
gonna be,
everyone do? They went in quarantine. Governors went and lost their cock.
That's the PP. When it says like Planned Parenthood and all that, the PP, it's pneumonic. What is it? Pneumonic plague. Which, I mean, the chances of survival are like 0. And what they were going to do under Obama's playbook, which we also have.
Yeah.
They were. No. Obama's playbook.
Oh, you have more papers.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants more papers.
The actual presidential book. There's just a lot of paperwork here. But, yeah. What they were going to do.
While he's doing that, part of brainwashing skills, techniques are number 1, isolation from other people and also information, true information. Number 2, another technique is, I have this written down. I just did a whole thing on it. A regime that requires absolute obedience. Then we have number 3, a social pressure that rewards cooperation, because we all want to cooperate. That's the right thing to do. And also has a physical or psychological punishment for non-cooperation. And we've seen, which I don't know if these are true or false, but people getting arrested, like pregnant ladies in Australia getting arrested for posting something on Facebook. Okay? And another lady watching her son playing football without a mask with a medical issue getting arrested. So this is like, they're showing this, whether it's true or false. They're making people examples. So people psychologically freak out and won't post on Facebook and won't go to a football game without a mask. Let me do 2 more. Number 4, deprivation of food, sleep, and social contact. Well, they haven't quarantined anybody. There isn't like a truck situation going on right now where food source could be an issue, and or I don't know if you guys went through that where you are, but we didn't have stuff on the shelves in most grocery stores, and it wasn't just toilet paper. Okay, a lot of stuff was gone. Everyone just hoarded that stuff, and so deprivation of food, sleep, social contact, and the 5th one is confusion. So people can be most brainwashed and programmed when there is a lot of confusion. Well, guess what? Are we having a little confusion with, let me just say a couple things with the C and the mask. Wear the mask. Don't wear the mask. This is good. That's not good. Vaccinations, they changed it 58,000 times. We're quarantined. We're not. We're stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's so like elaborate and mental freaking gymnastics all the day long. And then also now with the election, he won, he didn't. He's this, he's red, he's blah, blah, blah. They're counting the votes. It's like, that's how we are programmed. Now I can go into the deprogram, but I want you guys just to Google this straight up before Jason brings his amazing information. Write this down. Everyone get a piece of paper. As you're sharing, I want you to write this down too. US 6506148B2. I'm going to say it again. US 6506148B2. Google that junk, and we have the technology already that's using scalar weapons and or what have you to do mass mind control over the masses, which is why we're probably seeing a lot of this stuff going on with riots and different stuff with Chad and all the things that are happening. And they're using this against us with the combination of the brainwashing techniques, which is MK Ultra straight across. They tried it on all the things. They tested it with the C in March, and they go, oh God, let's see if they'll just do all these things if we just put it out there. And everyone submitted, and everyone's like, oh sure, I'll do all the things because it's only 2 weeks. But it wasn't only 2 weeks. They're not going to tell you that it's 2 years or 3 years or forever, because the frog would be boiled in 2 seconds and no one would jump into hot boiling water. They're just like, oh, let's tiptoe in this and we're okay because it's just a couple weeks. Just like, well, what do we got to do? It won't hurt anyone. And then like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months later, and how many more freedoms are going to be taken away, right? So tell us what you got, sir.
Well, people that wear masks are, I don't mean to be cruel or anything like that, but you have to. They're complete idiots. You are an idiot if you are wearing a mask right now. That's it. It's like, why are you wearing a mask? Because somebody told you that you're not going to catch a virus from a mask, from an N95 mask. So what you're saying is that a mask that is basically like, it's a cloth mask. Or they say, oh, you wear a bandana. Or you like this. Seriously. Who has died from this? Seriously. Where do they come up with this? Everything, it says it all in this whole packet, that it was all made in a lab. In fact, it was busted by Australian scientists twice. And this, see what that says? It says not for public distribution, of course, but
different one. Yes.
Okay, but it's the playbook for early response to high consequence emerging infectious disease threats, biological incidents. Table of contents, shall we? So, executive summary and everything. So it says tier 1, and there's H1N1, and the case fatality rate is 0.01%. 0.01, right? So the thing is that they had H1N1, then they had H7N9 in China, which was a 34% case fatality rate. H5N1, which Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, which is a 53% case fatality rate. And it says U.S. stockpile of H5N1 vaccine has not spread readily from person to person, but could adapt to become more transmissible between people. See, they're trying to make it transmissible between people. That's their whole key. And it says H3N2. It says this is a current exception to the reporting policy because while it is still considered to be a novel influenza virus and infections occur sporadically outside the normal flu seasons, the virus does not spread easily from human to human. Since 2012, when the variant was first identified, infections have occurred via human contact with domestic swine, and there is limited evidence for secondary cases. H3N2 infectious could trigger additional actions if there was documented human-to-human transmission. Other novel influenza viruses, H10N8, H5N6, H5N8, avian H5 viruses in North America, coronaviruses, MERS-CoV, reservoir, bats, camels, 18 to 62% case fatality rate, SARS, reservoir unknown, 11 to 17%. And then it says orthopox viruses, smallpox, variola, monkeypox. Now, that's tier 1. Okay, then it goes tier 2 and all that. But tier 3 is the golden one. It's Yersinia pestis, which is the pneumonic plague.
Oh, Lord.
Fleas from rodents, chipmunks, prairie dogs, ground squirrels, mice, and other mammals. Now, it has dogs in parentheses. Then it has an equal sign, and so it's human to human. It says 100% case fatality rate for delayed treatment. They were going to infect these fleas with this and have them on the dogs because, I mean, look at it. I mean, think about it. Who's the only president that we've ever had that didn't have a dog? Donald John Trump. Notice they all had dogs. And the thing is that, I mean, it's all throughout here. I mean, it is just what they did. And this is Obama's playbook, by the way. Now, what they did with Obama, they took his drone, right? Because what it is that he is what would it be? A Mark IV doubles clone, right? So they could torture one, and then they could use the other one. What they did in the booklet right here that you have is they actually took him and sent him down to Mexico, right? With this bioweapon in him. All vaccines are bioweapons, right? Because the problem is that you look at these like terrorist countries like Sudan, like they want to, North Korea. It's like Iran. You can't send vaccines to them. And everybody's like, well, why? Well, because they could be used as bioweapons. Well, then that means that they could be used as bioweapons against us. And that's exactly what it says right here, where it says introduction, summary of claims, It says, number 3, evidence the swine flu vaccines are bioweapons. I mean, that's on the first page. I mean, criminal charges concerning bioterrorism acts and mass murder. They were going to kill us all. That's exactly what they were going to do. They had it all planned out and everything. It's just like the 41020. The 41020 was not Donald John Trump. It was Dr. Jeffrey Taubenberger. He's the one that resurrected the Spanish flu from 1918 that Rockefeller came up with. That's why Rockefeller is not on the triangle. That's why Soros took his spot. Because the triangle are cannibals. The one outside are the ones that pollute the meat. If that makes you at all any sick.
So while you are saying this, what comes to mind is Montauk and the Montauk Project. If you guys have ever seen Stranger Things, literally, there's a show called Stranger Things that was kind of inspired by Montauk. I was part of a lot of the Montauk. I was in Montauk and part of that. And
well, it's the truth. I mean, they have to tell us the truth.
This is true. All movies reflect actually true. There's radars in multiple places. All the places that my dad was stationed had that radar, and Montauk and Iceland and Japan and North Dakota at Fortuna. And so what was going on there? Talking about bioweapons. I could do an entire show on just Montauk, and I think you could do 10 shows on Montauk with the information that I know you have. But they were targeting not just with weather, but they were able to jam up actual DNA of people who were able to connect and see, to use their innate abilities in their DNA to be able to connect with source and see what the future is and see what's going on. And it was jamming up like prophetic psychic abilities. And what they found is when this guy went to Montauk, he was interviewing all these people around there, and they were saying that these scalar waves would be sent out through these radars. And not only were they having crazy weather issues, but they were there was all kinds of accounts of like flocks of wild animals that would show up in the street in the middle of town and all just be together and sit for 2 hours and then absolutely just be sitting there. Wild animals sitting in Montauk, like just like in the middle of the street, all looking at each other like what? And they would sit a solid 2 hours and then they would disperse at the 2 hour mark. And then teenagers were showing up just by the droves of just sit in 2 hours like zombies and be like, why are, like totally brain whatever, and then disperse within 2 hours. And crime, they interviewed the sheriff, and the sheriff over and over, so the chief of police, both the chief of police and the sheriff was saying that they would have crime spikes for a solid 2 freaking hours and then just like completely dissolve, like just stop completely within 2 hours. And they also had a crazy weather where it would be like August and all of a sudden it was 5 inches of snow. And they were using this technology for not only time travel and whatever, but so I started Googling. I'm talking to Jason last night. We talked a bunch, and I looked up like CIA radar. Actually, this 48-page document, which I can post, Star Wars Now, and some people in the room might have an affinity to Star Wars because I got some people in the house who love Star Wars, and I actually do too. And look, there's actually even pictures of these radars from Tesla where they were using this to jam up psychic abilities, target aircrafts and weaponize aircraft, but weaponize people. And think about what might be going on in some places that may be rhyming with as that are in the Seattle area. and or the whole Portland area and or any of the rioting, and maybe like all the stuff where they're busing people in and or just people coming over for the border and don't realize like why they're here and what's going on. They're just like zombie typed. You know, what do you got to say about that kind of weapon? Mind control. It's all about mind control. And like these people don't even know how they got there, what they're doing. They're just like there and they're like, oh, we better get out of here. Or crime spikes and they're doing stuff they would never do on the normal. And then it's gone.
Well, if it's going to like the whole zombie part, you could look under Con Plan 8888. You could just Google it, and it is a massive, massive, like it's a zombie. I mean, it literally is a zombie. How can I even put this?
Apocalypse.
I mean, they had like all these different types of zombies. They put all these people in a room and they said, you know, like come up with this like off the wall, like all these gamers, like, you know, like think about all these like, you know, use your creativity, your imagination, and all this, and see what you can actually find or do. And that's what they did. I mean, oh yeah, Tesla. That's why he, you know, but they're all still alive, so they'll be able to answer better than we will. Tesla, all of them.
So it's not just weapons of the, I don't want to say the word, the thing that is a needle that goes in the arm, but also the scalar. And what other
right.
kind of weapons do we got here?
It says it right here in chapter 21. It says it was the act of mass vaccinations in 1918 that actually caused the deadly Spanish flu pandemic, according to experts. Now, who was the judge that wrote a 34-page document on how it is unconstitutional to have mass vaccinations in the military?
You told me this. Remind me.
Who's the one that's going against Flynn right now? Emmett G. Sullivan.
Oh.
So, whose side is he really on? He's on our side.
So, and you told me off camera about how it's actually against the law.
Yeah.
Unless proven otherwise, that the V thing that goes in the arm, we're not going to say that word, actually
they're all bad.
Against the law at this moment,
yeah.
Unless proven otherwise.
Yeah, the thing is that what's in them?
Nano technology, all kinds of stuff with
Explain abortions. That's all you have to do. What is an abortion? It is, you know, who partnered up with Planned Parenthood in 2016? The Temple of Satan. I mean, every abortion is a satanic ritual. I mean, every single one of that's how they got their strength. That's why these people are like, oh, we could do it in the 9th month and all this. Like, are you serious? I mean, number one, it's murder. And people are like, oh, but what about this? What if this happens? It's like, okay, look at the percentages of any of that happening. Okay. You have the baby and you can adopt it out. Why is it so much easier to adopt a child from another country than it is to adopt an American child? I mean, seriously. I mean, the whole thing's about melanin. Everything that this whole thing is about is melanin, because that's our life force. I don't care who gets mad or anything like that. Jesus Christ was black. Deal with it. He wasn't some white dude that was in a picture that was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. The guy's name was Caesar Borgia, which was the Pope's son. which was a flaming homosexual that was screwing Leonardo da Vinci. That's it. There's your truth. We're all, I mean, there was no Big Bang or anything like this. We're products of the Anunnaki. We're a genetic experiment. That's it. A genetic procedure. We're just dumbed down to be slaves.
To mine gold
But
and
now, yes, but now they've given us our freedom back, and now DJT is about to just unleash all hell. Because now we're going to be all cranked back up, and we're going to get all our DNA put back together, and we'll be able to teleport and use telekinesis and all that good stuff. So,
well, we have the DNA.
yeah,
We have the DNA.
it's our junk DNA, the 97%.
Yes, and
So
as we've talked about before, there's junk DNA, and then there's gray matter, they say, and then there's galaxies that haven't been known. And it's interesting that they're all the same percent. It's junk DNA 97, 98, 98, 97, gray matter, and then this unknown territory, as above, so below, as below, so above, which goes back to the kingdom of God and on earth as it is in heaven, which goes back to the emerald tablets, which over 500 of what scriptures are actually come from emerald tablets and or Buddha and different things, which came way before Jesus. So that's interesting.
Yeah, from Thoth.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I mean, what people don't understand is like the Bible wasn't written per se by God or anything like that. It was something that was transcribed over and over and over again from the Sumerians, from the the Anunnaki themselves. I mean, all they did was just change the names, change the storylines. The storyline is all the same, but I mean, people aren't going to accept it. People are they're so devout. It's almost like, and it's not dogging religion, okay? But the thing is that why is it that religion is the one thing that religion is division? Everybody believes that, oh, their God is better. Their God is better than this. Their God is better than that. Well, number one, you have a supreme creator, the all source, but then you have creator gods. There's tons of creator gods. I mean, I don't know why people think that there's just like one, we were created like with the meat suits and everything like that. Yes, we were created by the Anunnaki and everything, but the ether and the God spark and everything like that, it was given to us by source. Now, I mean, that's why they say, when we all come together, we have the power. Because when we're all together, we are in fact God. And that's going to flip everybody out. Now, I don't care what anybody says. Go ahead and make your little attacks and all that. But I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, MJ12, they declassed everything. It's all in the 658 pages that they declassed. Just got to read them.
Well, the thing is, each of us have like what, 1 trillion cells within our body, and each cell contains the DNA of God. And to remember means to do again, member, come together. So as we remember, we're coming together over and over and over as one, and it's that unity that that brings the highest frequency and the highest union of all, and that authenticity. And they were great geneticists and what they did. And also we could probably do an entire show on that. But what I don't like as a scholar and as a, I guess, kind of geek science, like justice, righteous person, is I love the Bible. I look at it like quantum physics, but a lot of it is mistranslated. A lot of it is absolutely missing. And what I hate the most is, well, I don't hate, but what I dislike the most is that it's not cited. So the rule in literary terms is like if you're going to quote from somewhere else, you will cite that where where it came from. And if there's 500 things in the Bible that came from Buddha, then that should be cited.
Yeah.
If it comes from the Emerald Tablets, that should be cited. So then everyone would be able to look at this and go, oh, well, this came from this or this came from that. And that's just a couple things. But it's a collaboration of all these things that come together. And like you said, retold, whatever. But it's still coming from a lot of different sources. And I'm not saying that it isn't anointed. It's freaking crazy. Quantum love, frequency, bring us to the next level. I love the Bible. I love Jesus. All of that. No judgment at all. But also, law of first mention would cite where it came from. That's just a literary rule, and there's a mishap there because people just think this other scenario, this other narrative that has been going on here. So,
Well, the thing is that the Bible wasn't written just to be read. It was written to be decoded. That's where the Moonies come in. It's the United God, what the hell's the name? They weren't meant to be a religion. It was a group. It was Sung Young Moon from South Korea, I believe. And they actually own the New Yorker Hotel.
really?
Yes. And that's why, I mean, it gets pretty deep. I mean, it really does. Once you start heading down certain rabbit holes, you start understanding that, Trump and Tesla and all them and John G. Trump and they're all, yeah, just like Elon.
Travelers, definitely
Yep.
travelers. There's no time and space.
It's all in your head. I mean, our brains are one of the most powerful quantum computers there is. That is why AI uses machine learning. They're trying to learn how we operate, but they can't because they don't have the creativity and the imagination that we have.
Nope.
That's what makes us completely different because we can actually offshoot and we can actually say, okay, well, we have this. Well, then what happens if this goes wrong? Well, then we all come together and we do this instead. We can just change because the speed of light is slow. Now, the speed of human thought is the fastest speed there is. And that's
Yeah,
what kills
and
people.
they cannot tap into their creative power because they've went so far gone in the AI, which is what we need to really protect is the emotional. Like this heart is the biggest generator of all electromagnetic code. So, we have our brain that does some levels and our speech, our words have frequency, our thoughts have frequency. Thoughts are things, but the heart is the biggest creator and generator of the magnet part of the biofield. So your biofield is dual too, radiates out but magnetizes back in. So what you're feeling is actually creating more back to your field than what you're thinking and you're talking about. Now that combination, as well as your signature code on your DNA, is what brings the collection back and radiates out. But they don't have that because
Well,
they
and that's the
they
problem
don't have
is
the
that
heart.
with the DNA, that's why they started this whole 23andMe and tried to, this Ancestry.com when they're like, oh, give us your DNA. We'll tell you where you're from. It's like, no, you guys
We just want your information.
we're biologically immortal entities. We never die. We just go over and over and over and over again.
So
Everybody
someone
since 2015 is coming back. That's going to be the best, too. Oh, can't
Yeah,
wait.
I mean, that's why the kids are all dressed up in the 80s clothes again. We're starting over to the 80s, right? And then it'll be bell bottoms again. And then. But someone's asking, explain more about time travel. I could go a whole show on time travel with Montauk and the technology for time travel. And also, we all have our own Merkaba, which is
Is
our
your
own
vehicle?
spaceship.
Yep. Is your
And
vehicle?
yeah, but explain. I know you know about the Baron, and interesting that that Trump actually refers to his son Baron as the legendary Baron. Now, why would that be from a book from the 1800s?
Oh, you mean from Ingersoll Lockwood?
Yeah.
That looks. I mean, when you look at Ingersoll Lockwood, who does he look like? Russell J. Gould. I'm telling you, this thing gets big.
The legendary Baron.
Yeah.
The time traveler.
Yeah.
The last president.
1900 last president. The adventures of Baron and his dog Bulger.
A book from 1800. You guys should Google this. You guys look this up. There's a book from 1800 that talked about
The late
Great
1800s.
Baron.
Yep. I mean, there's
his
a whole
time travel adventures.
Well, there's a whole group of it, and it's called the Omnibus edition, right? What was the name of the December 21st, 2016, or was it 17? Thing about the executive order that he wrote.
The what?
That Trump,
Oh,
the executive order. Yeah, the executive order about the whole sex trafficking and all that with everything.
Oh yeah.
It was
Only
called the
president
Omnibus.
in history that's ever given a crap, two craps about sex trafficking, by the way, ever.
About human trafficking, yeah. And I wonder why. Wonder how long that's been going on. We are all, and the thing is, with all the people missing, I mean, when you look at throughout like all the presidents and everything, as soon as Clinton got in, it started hitting the 900,000s of children missing a year. Where are these kids going? Besides all their little secret, cult-like activities. It's a huge intergalactic slave trade.
Not to mention off planet.
It is. I mean, it's all planet and everything. That is why oh man, it's gonna flip people out. But yeah, you got the Intergalactic Confederation that sued the Galactic Confederation, which is the Holy See, and they talk about the seat of Peter that's in Vatican City. Peter happens to be Lucifer.
No.
Yes.
Did you say that?
Lucifer. Yes. I can say that, right?
You just did.
I mean, that's what the Vatican was all about. It's all satanic. Roman Catholicism is satanic. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you. I know. I mean, people can be as mad as they want, but remember, they did say that the truth would put 99% of people in the hospital.
Ooh.
So, what would do that when you pretty much go after somebody's faith?
That's the thing is, there has to be a complete reconstruction, not just with pharmakia, which means witchcraft, by the way. And I don't think I told you this, but I just looked up the other day, Tylenol, the word Tylenol. Ty means to tie to. Lenol means the venom of a poisonous snake.
And look what doctors have to take the Hippocratic Oath. And did you know? And the thing is, what about the two serpents wrapped around the staff? Because if you notice, I mean, the Knights of the Hospitallers, where do you think they came from? I mean, they were the ones that were taking care of the Knights Templar when they were going off to battle. But the Knights of the Hospitaller actually became the Knights of Malta.
Ooh.
There's your big pharma.
It's so deep. I'm telling you. I mean,
you got
coming
the black
from the
nobility. You got, it's. I mean, honestly, Yeah, I mean it's
Well, we have to wrap up here in like the next 10 minutes.
yeah, that's fine.
Where do you see what's going on in the election, like here and now? What do you see happening? Um, for give us some hope.
I'm not
I mean,
budging. Trump will win all 50 states.
he already did.
I told Dr. Dean that. I'm telling everybody that he is going to win every state. I mean,
Yeah, he
now the
already
watermarks.
did.
I mean, people don't understand who Trump really is. I mean, he is the most powerful person in the world.
You know, it's crazy. So, like, I've traveled for decades over the years and been to 44 countries. And so I have a lot of relationships with people outside of the country. And you know how many people, I mean, this is not about the USA at all. Like, literally, the entire world is watching and the galaxies.
Oh,
The
yeah.
galaxies.
They're all here.
Everyone is watching because they want to know what's going to happen to humanity here. Like, because, and I was talking to a lady in the UK, and I was like, what do you think? What's the temperature over there? I talked to some people in New Zealand, Australia, UK, and I did a live on that. I'm like, what's the deal? Like, what are people thinking? And she's like, they're rioting. They're like, don't forget about me, Trump, with signs, and they're in the streets. And more than we are even in the United States, which is so freaking sad that literally other countries are giving them the Nobel Peace Prize. They're rioting. They're like, don't forget me, Trump signs everywhere, protesting for Trump to win. And it's like, which he already did. And I was like, what do you think that is with this fascination, in these other countries? And everyone, hands down, without even knowing each other, all said the same thing. They're all saying, well, we have such crazy lockdowns and crazy governmental things that are happening. And it's just so intense and so weird. And we have no one to stand up for us. We have like no middleman to say, like, I will fight for you. And we actually just look for Trump to say, like, at least you have somebody that's fighting for you. And maybe if he's fighting for you and you guys win, then that gives us hope that we can have our freedom too.
But the thing is that he's not just fighting for us. He's fighting for all of humanity because he is the top tier.
You're about to say it, aren't you?
Yeah, the military order of Christ.
I knew you were going to go there.
He's just let's face. I mean, he is. I mean, you want your second coming? There you go. That's him.
I'm not going to say that he's Jesus. I'm not going to say.
No. Hold on. Jesus was his own entity. It wasn't Jesus Christ. It was Jesus of the Christ.
Cool. That I agree with.
Now, the thing is that every time, all throughout time, they all had, different ones. And the thing is that who does he most look like now? He looks just like George Patton.
Nice.
In which case, George Patton got into an automobile accident 187 days before Trump was born and died mysteriously 12 days later, 175 days, which is 17.5. And then that's where you get Donald John Trump. And he knew back in the 1960s that he would be the last president and that he would be the savior of the world.
There's so many people, even overseas, who are saying that we think that they think that they will be some sort of reestablishment of where he may actually somehow be able to govern through that. That's interesting, but that'll be another topic. Seeing how we're like.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, he had the sword dance in Saudi Arabia, which nobody's ever had. You had the red carpet event in Japan. He died in the Forbidden City, in which case he got the Talana Gold Certificate, which gave us 640,000 metric tons of gold, the physical gold back. Throw over in the. Why would you use carriers? You have to load the gold somehow. The gold will destroy the Fed. And what ship did they use also? They used the old USS John F. Kennedy aircraft carrier
Nice.
because he's still alive too. Happy 103rd birthday, buddy.
Awesome.
I mean, there's everybody's still alive. I mean, they're all down in Venezuela, and that's who is developing all of our technologies for the golden age. Because you can't have aliens do it. Because I mean, how would you, from Portuguese to Chinese to, I mean, how would you be able to do any of it? You couldn't. I mean, it'd be totally impossible. The language barriers alone.
And we discussed, you and I, earlier and several times, that you could actually do like an 8-part series on clones and the clone stuff going on. I know a little bit, you know a lot, and have a lot of backup with that too. So we're going to actually dive into that. Next week, I have James Redfield at 7 on Thursday, but we're going to try to do this a little bit more consistently. So
Okay.
you guys know a time and can connect with us on a regular, and that will be put out more. We're looking at Thursdays at 7. Not this next week. We might have to do a different time next week, but I'm excited about our collaboration because I'm a geek and I like papers and data, and I don't do Kindle and I don't do computer like calendars. I like everything. Like I have to write down on a piece of paper and underline in dog ear, and I love that he has like thousands of papers, 150,000 documents over at his house where he sends me stuff and I send him stuff, and we're all just like, oh, did you see this 43-page document? And like it's just
and that's the thing. It's not just one. It's all of us together doing this. And that's why, I mean, even if you're just sitting there learning or listening or even taking 15 minutes out of your day, I mean, you're still a part of it. No matter how you slice or dice it, this cannot be done by one person, 2 people. It's all of us. It's all or none. That's it. That's why, I mean, I just when people are like, oh yeah, and it's like, it's not me, it's we.
Yes,
Cut it out.
I love when you said that.
Cut
The
it
first
out.
time I heard you say that, I got so emotional.
I'm just like, people, cut it out. It's all of us. Because if it's not all of us, then it's none of us. If it's none of us, then we're fucked. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we have to do it all together.
Yes.
Because that's the only way we're going to beat it.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
look, how can people find you? I know how to find you, and I know you're going to retweet this, everybody. You're going to share this. I'm actually going to share Jason's PayPal as well, because some of you may not know, but his mother, his sweet, precious, beautiful mother just passed, as well as unfortunately, there's been a slew of his uncle, his dad, his uncle, and his mom, all in a very short period of time, which I'm not even going to go into the ramifications and the mystery of that. Anyway, but I'm going to actually post his PayPal just so, because this is his job. This is actually his job. You guys send prayers to him. This is what he does out of service for humanity and the galaxies. And
well, we're also chosen to do this. I mean,
what's that?
There's a lot of us that were actually, I mean, it's.
You're gonna make me cry.
I mean, it's so big because when people realize that there's some of us that actually were sent back here to help humanity, and some of us actually were told who we were in previous times, and let's just say it gets yeah. But you know what? The thing is that it all matters is who we are now and what we could do now to help humanity, and we're just getting shit done. That's it. I mean, we just have to stand behind our president, and I mean, no matter what happens, I mean, I don't care, he needs us, he's the one that's helping us. He's the one that's, him and, the whole Q group and all of them, they're doing all the heavy lifting. That's why we're not out riding in the streets, because what we are to do is to learn and look and learn. That's it. We're supposed to learn this. Because if you do not learn from the past, how are you supposed to succumb to the future? It's just a big circular thing. And that's what we're doing. We're learning all this now because next level, whew, it's going to get fun. That's all I can say is it's going to get just, I mean, you can't even put it into words. It is going to be that amazing.
So, you guys find him on Twitter. I'm going to post his Twitter link. I'm going to post his PayPal. I am at Swift Fire, Swift as in quick, really fast, fire.org. You can also find, I have 5 books. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I have the Science of Miracles. You guys can check all that out. But I want to leave on this note.
Books too.
But I got to send you this too, by the way. I'm going to send you this. I got your address and everything, and I already have it on my list of things when I get back. But this is cool. So everything in authority submits when you are walking in Christ consciousness. Whether it is you're thinking of something and then all of a sudden you get in your car and the radio will play a song with lyrics that answer the question you were just thinking about. And or you get a fortune cookie that answers your situation, or you see a billboard that's like, oh my God, answering. And so I was literally just sitting there thinking about Trump and the situation and like what is our part, and understanding just the complexity of where we are and what's going on. And I have this card deck, and I actually just pulled this card, and look how cool that is. Isn't that like profound in its own sense? But let me tell you what it says. It says vision. It actually says vision is on here, and it says hold the vision. Hold your vision steady with a keen eye. Peer into the future. Find excitement with a sense of design and creation before you. On a fresh white piece of paper, write all the glimpses that you show yourself, fragments of your dreams. It keeps on going. But basically, see all the possibilities. Don't make it uncertain, but make it a reality. Like, just assume that it's done, and toss out anything that wouldn't set up to the knowledge of Christ and what you're actually seeing as your vision or your focus. And then all things will be manifest to you. And I was thinking about, like what you focus on, you make room for. And so our part is not only holding the line of keeping the vision, because we got Mockingbird who want to just like whatever to keep the scenario of whatever their narrative is, because they know our creative power, and they know, oh, I'm just going to use them to create the scenario that we choose by locking us into their scenario of like their big party, of like we won already. And then we lock in and we come to like accepting that and surrendering to it. And then also our eye gate, our ear gate, our heart is locked into, oh, this happened now. And then we actually create and come into that. They're using our power against us if we buy it, if we take the bait. And I encourage everybody to not take the bait, but to remember what the truth is still the truth, nothing but the truth. And nothing can take away from the real truth, no matter if it's the media or your next door neighbor or your family member or whatever asshole that doesn't understand what actually truth is. And so hold the line of truth, hold the vision of actually truth. The Constitution is the one who decides. We, the people, are the one who decides. And it's not this mass Mockingbird situation. And it's not the brainwashing that's happening. But it's we, the people, that already decided. And it was
the first thing
right
people
way.
need to do is take off the mask.
That too.
Take off the mask, because guess what? All you hear is just a bunch of mumbling. You can't tell people if people are smiling, if they're happy, if they're sad. You can't. They're taking away your speech. Yeah. They're taking away everything. They're saying you have to stay 6 feet away from people. Now you look at it like in Chicago. Beetlejuice just said that, oh, well, now you can't have people over and all this. It's like, it's just, these people, they're just fucking idiots. And they listen to this. It's like, go grab her out of her house and beat the shit out of her. I'm just saying. Everything below the waist, it's not attempted murder. below the waist. All vital organs are above. Remember.
So, and interesting. Yeah, that's bad about the Beetlejuice and the violence. So
But you have to admit she does kind of look like.
Okay, okay, I have to agree with you. And also, on a science level, biofield is 6 to 8 feet. Think about it. I haven't even talked to you about this. 6 to 8 feet is the biofield. Guess what? The biofield contains what we think, what we talk about, what we're feeling, the code of our DNA signature, and it's transferable. So why wouldn't they not want us to be together? Because we might actually transfer the truth. If someone's in truth, they can actually transfer it. So they're trying to actually keep us, even on an energetic level. I love all the people laughing my ass off. Beetlejuice, yeah, that's so mean, but also funny.
How is it mean? It can't be mean. I mean, the thing is, if they're laughing, that means that they're getting the vibrations up, correct?
Yes, see? Laughing is very good for the soul. It's medicine. So let's just keep laughing.
And so it's like filling a sock with oranges and beating somebody with it. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if something were to happen, like just accidentally to Beetlejuice. Yeah, accidentally.
Anyway, you are awesome. I'm going to post all of your thing. I hope you guys will do your due diligence and share and tweet and retweet and get this information out, because I think it's very important, just me personally, for all of humanity to connect with what Jason's talking about. Someone said, I love your spice. And yeah, the women love you. That's interesting. I told him earlier that Sister Shar over here, I'm the gatekeeper, so look out, bros, because I'm gonna be checking up on y'all with that. He's a keeper, so y'all better jump back.
No,
and you better
I'm
be the right
telling
way.
you right now, I'm the biggest lovable asshole you ever meet. And it's the truth. I mean, honestly, I mean, we're just trying to be real. That's all. I mean, honestly, just everybody has a voice. Use it. You know, do some research. Look at if there's something that you find wrong. I mean, then we can all come together and we could just discuss it, and you find out that you're wrong. That's it. I mean, we have. I mean, like
just saying.
Yeah,
just saying.
Like literal bins and bins and bins and bins of paper with just knowledge. Well, I mean, we have gone over it. I mean, it's a lot.
We gotta cut this off, which sucks because I'm freaking having a blast. I don't know about you, but we are going to continue this, and I will keep you guys updated on where we're going to meet up next week. So please do make sure to follow Jason on Twitter and Facebook. He has so many friends, and so do I, that Facebook will only let us have like 5,000, but you can follow. You can hit the follow button. And actually, I would encourage you to hit not just follow, but if you want to get notifications, you got to go a step further and actually hit favorite, and then get on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, what have you. And I'm going to put the links here. After next week, will we be back on Thursday for sure? I don't know what's going on next week for sure. And then, of course, he's going to be on tomorrow night as usual. And also, isn't he amazing? Oh my God. Isn't he like freaking amazing? Yes, someone said unfiltered. I love the unfiltered. We're just like, it's all about being raw and authentic.
And you have to, because I mean, it's the only way to be with people. I mean, we're not sugarcoating anything. You can't afford to. I mean, this is our last shot. I mean, this is it. This is for all the marbles. I mean, this is why Flynn wanted us to be digital soldiers. This is what we're doing. We are, we're making sure that we're making our impact in this.
And each and every one of us have that responsibility, responsible. So go out, share your truth, be loved, be kind, and I always say be true. Yes. And you're not truly living, unless you're living true. So go out and be true. Be that authentic, vibrational love, truth vibration, and go out and serve and love well And Jason, thank you for being with us. We love you. You're
Thank
so
you
awesome.
so much. Thank you so much.
Everyone
once
send
again.
prayers to him. Everyone send love to him.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back next week, you guys. Hope to talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye.
Sounds good. All right. Bye.